Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do first impressions on 7 knives. Two of these are sort of lightweight overview type knives, meaning I'm not going to be doing full reviews on them. This is the Grimsmo Knives Rask. It's the loaner from Sean. He's a great dude. He's a really good buddy of Backpack B's, Brent. So, I'm going to go ahead and say go check out Backpack B on Instagram and YouTube. I know Sean wanted me to do that. Awesome knife to get into. And then this is the Finch Knives Drifter. This is actually a giveaway knife they sent in for my 3K giveaway. I just posted the other day. I don't know when this will post, so it may be closed I think it will be closed by the time you see this. So hopefully you won something or will. But this is a Drifter in blue denim micarta. I am not going to be doing another video on this, but I wanted to kind of give my first impressions. I unboxed it yesterday in my timeline. So it's the Drifter. Then we have three knives here from ENG EDC. Good dude, good supporter of the channel. He's a channel member. He is an awesome dude. You can check him out on Instagram. If I remember, I'll link his Instagram below. I believe I did in the unboxing, but this is the Wingman EDC Ferris. It's an integral flipper, pretty cool. We have the absolute trash Civivi Perf paraframe ripoff right here. I don't really want to talk much about that one, so it'll be quick. This is the Real Steel G-frame, which I really like, aside from a couple things, so we'll talk about that. This is the We Knives Beacon. This is a new one for me. You can tell I modded it a little bit here. And this is a very interesting. My take on this is going to be interesting, I think, to some people. And back in the collection, we have the Slim Midi from Medford, guys. This is the exact Slim Midi I had. Now, I had two. I had a blue one with satin, but this is the one I really liked with the anode hardware and everything. Stonewash blade. It's in S35VN with the Tanto. Just an excellent knife. I got this from GP Knives, and then I traded it to Talica, and then we made a deal the other day, and I got her back. He got the Strider I had, and I got this plus a little cash, so it worked out for both of us. And yeah, so let's get into these. Now, this one I reviewed, so it'll be quick. Actually, I'll just knock it out right now. I love it. I missed it. I missed having a Slim Midi in the collection. I sold them because, I don't know, I guess I just was looking to get some cash in at the time, and they're not exactly like drop shut or anything. But as a lefty, they just work really well. You don't have any of those lock bar pressure issues, and that makes a big deal for a lefty. Plus, to me, it's just one of the sexiest looking knives on the planet in this Tanto. Even the drop point's nice, but not as good. And everybody knows if you have the drop point version, you have a small penis. You can ask Jared Neve about that. Lockup's good. It's just a solid knife. I took it apart yesterday when I got it back. Talica had Delrin bearings in here, and I cleaned everything up. There was this green shit all up in there. I don't know what he does for work, but he obviously got some shit in there. But I cleaned her all up, Loctited her. Hopefully it stayed, because it's not 24 hours yet, but it's close. So yeah, just one of those knives I truly love, and I missed having in the collection. It's kind of like the Hoback Sumo in a sense, like my love affair with this knife and that knife. But that knife just doesn't work for me because of the thumb studs on it. You can use these if you want as studs, but they kind of hurt. I love the Fuller. Fuller's excellent. You can thumb flick, and the lefty reverse flick is just so good. And the D10 on this one is money. The lock bar is a bitch to push over, but a lot of times I just do it left-handed, and it's fine. But you can see it's got some wear on it. It's got some love on it, which I like. These scales hold up really well. It's PVD. And it looks like a dark gray, not black. That's what I like about it. And then you have the ano on all of the hardware. I may get this modded, but I kind of like the ano. I'm not big on that kind of ano, but it works because it's very minimal on this knife. It just looks a little beat up, and I kind of like that on this guy. So that's the Medford Slim Midi. I just wanted to show you I got it back, and I'm happy about it, you know. So let's put these aside, and we can rip through them one at a time. Let's start with the Rask, okay? So this is the Grimsmo Brothers Knives Rask. And if you saw my unboxing, you know I was impressed. It's a gorgeous knife. Let's do the quick zoom in. You have this awesome starburst pattern. You have this bronze hardware down here, which I wish was kind of all over the hardware, but titanium scales. You have standoffs. To me, it really seems like a premium flipper version of a TRM Atom. There you go. There's the spine, very thin spine. RAS number 463, right? Yep. RWL 34. Not my favorite, obviously. Let's zoom back out. But for this kind of knife that you're not going to be really putting through a bunch of abuse, it's fine. Ergos are surprisingly good on this knife. Again, sort of like a Atom. It's a little bit thicker, I think, but in a good way. This flipper choil thing is excellent, and you get a lot of blade. I mean, it's got to be close to 3.5 inches on this thing. Now, I told him I would cut paper one time to check sharpness, so let's give her a check. Bang. She's good to go. So that's all the cutting you're going to see here from the Rask. And that's why, ultimately, what you'll get is an overview video of this, because I can't really give you a full review without carrying and cutting with it. In terms of carry, let me just put it in my pocket one time. Excellent clip. Works fantastically. Goes in pocket, out of pocket. No problem. Pretty deep carry. We're dead centered. Look at the tolerances between the handles here. There's literally no gap up here. That is impressive. And then to see how it drops. I mean, it's just excellent. You have this jimping on the flipper tab. Very, very Norseman-like. And it has the same sort of effect where it's not that grippy. But once you get used to it, it's just awesome. It really is. To me, it's better than a haptic or a Holt, because the Holt flipper tab has this sort of hook to it and a point. And it hurts. It really does after a while. This, I could flip all day. I can light switch it, and I can push button it. And it just feels really good. I just have no issue with that. I really like it. I definitely would say if you asked me to choose between the Rask and a Holt Haptic, Spectre, Morpheus. Haven't handled the Morpheus, but it's the same knife, basically, build-wise and everything. I would choose this Rask every time. Ergos are better. You have a choil to choke up on, and the action is just as good, if not better, on the close. I mean, look at that, right? And the detent is a little lighter in a good... I don't even know if it's lighter. It's just done better, in my opinion. Now, it doesn't have the detent nub, so you don't get the same amazing acoustics. That's the thing Holt has on it. But everything else, in my opinion, is better. Now, I would prefer the satins they do or the stonewashes they do. But the trade-off here is just, man, this knife is just better. It really is. I much prefer this Rask over the Holts. So that's just me, guys. Lock bar access is good if you're not an idiot, if you pay attention. It's just endlessly fidgety to do this, and it never hurts. Again, that's my problem with Holt. Eventually, that flipper hurts my finger, and that's me. You might not have that problem. So thank you to Sean. Dude, you're an amazing guy. Thank you so much. I barely know him. We've chatted a couple times in DMs, and then I saw Brent's collection diver video. I was like, I got to ask Sean if I can borrow that. I've been trying to get a Rask for so long. I'm on the list or whatever, but, you know, I've never heard of anybody actually getting one. So, no play, no rock, no nothing. Just a gorgeous knife. It really is. This is obviously one of the newer ones with the lock bar insert and everything. So, yeah. Grimsmo Rask, guys. Cool, cool knife. All right, so let's talk about the G-frame. This is the G-frame. from Real Steel. And I really like this knife. I think ergonomically it's nice, very slim, lightweight, good EDC, but you still get like 3.5 inches of blade. Very good with a pinch grip. Of course, it has like a straight back or drop point design, so you know, cutting wise, it's good. Tip is up a little bit for me, and the length of the knife, not going to get those really good label cuts, and it's such a thin blade. But for normal EDC, slicing, and cutting packages and stuff, this is going to be really good, right? And it's lightweight. The action is really good, guys. The detent's a little lighter than I would want it. Like, I could fail it. But the way it's kind of dialed, it works pretty well. I still would want it stronger because they did a really good job with the jimping and everything. The titanium's finished nicely. I attempted to reverse the clip, but this screw, or no, it was this screw, is just in there, man. Like, it felt like it might start stripping, so I stopped because it's not my knife and I'm not going to strip screws. I got this to loosen a little bit, but it took a lot of torque with the really stubby driver too. And this one did not want to come free. It's T6, which sucks, and it must be Loctited to hell in there. So I am not going to be reversing the clip on this, which kind of sucks. I would have liked to carry it lefty because it's not a flick knife. So I don't need that clip over here to get any kind of lock bar issue covered. I love the satin on here. Look at that Real Steel satin. Reminds me a lot of what you see from like Kunwu and what's the other? Kaiser. Like very similar belt satins. Not quite as good as a Riot, but still very good. It's an O-stop Hell design, S35EN. This is number 289. They are numbered. This, I believe, is a White Mountain Knives exclusive knife. So if it's still available, you can use code LeftyTEN over there at checkout for 10% off and free shipping. You could try LeftyTEN basically anywhere at this point. I mean, I don't know if Walmart will accept it, but it's kind of a running joke. We have a deep carry wire clip, which looks reversible and obviously is, but seems to be a pain in the ass. But if you own the knife, I'm sure you could figure it out. There is no play, maybe a tiniest bit of rock if I really wrench it, but I'm sure it's fine. Lock up, solid, just a thin knife. You know what I mean? So the clip bugged me a little bit that I couldn't reverse it. The detent is a little bit light for me. But other than that, I mean, I am a big fan of this knife. It really surprised me. And it's just one of those knives that's good. You know, it's hard to explain. I'm not the biggest flipper only guy. So, like, if it was mine, would I keep it? Probably not. But, like, overall, as a knife, if you're looking for, you know, feedback, it's good. It really is. Real Steel is one of those companies I think I would trust at this point. So it's good to know. I need to try some more of their stuff. So that's the G-Slip. Let's check out this piece of shit. This is the Civivi Perf. And guys, I don't want to waste time on this. The lock bar is stiff and it really sucks to get out of the way. It's kind of like the Frame Lock Elementum. It is in Nitro V, I believe. Let's zoom in real quick. Take a look at the handle. Basically what they did here was they were feeding off of your nostalgia. The Paraframe from Gerber is a very popular knife people had back in the day. And there you go, Nitro V, which I've heard varying things about their Nitro V. I've heard good things and bad. I usually like Nitro V, but I haven't really messed with theirs too much. Other than I think the Stinger has it, and I've used that quite a bit. Haven't had really any issues, but I have a secondary edge on it from somebody. Deep carry clip that is reversible. It's the budget knife clip. It's all bead blasted. It's just ugly, right? The detent is not very good, and it's very tight. So, like, I mean, it's broken in a little since I got it, but it's just not that great. You can obviously get it to flick out, no problem. I will say, Civivi, the way they do their flipper tabs on a lot of their designs, I love. It's one of my favorite, maybe my favorite flipper tab design. Ergonomics, you can't really choke up. So, you know, it's kind of like they took a Brad Zinker blade and put it on a Paraframe handle. So if you're into this, cool, but I am not. I really hate it. So I am going to put it away now. That is the Civivi Perf. And then the last knife that Ian sent in is the Wingman EDC Ferris. And you saw there, I missed it. And that's because of this jimping. This jimping just is very non-aggressive. It doesn't catch that well, so I tend to slip off a lot. Once you get used to the knife, like flick it twice, then you realize and you're good. But I just want to point that out. Not my favorite. This fat carbon is gorgeous. Look at that lava flow. This is my Mach 3 from Wingman. They are killing it with the fat carbon, guys. Just sexy, right? It's on both sides. Like, they just are doing a great job with that stuff. I love that they're doing these sub frame locks. Lefties rejoice. Nice clip. It's got the proprietary hardware I hate. Not a big fan of it. The clip ends up being a little wiggly because of the one screw design. It does sit into a pocket, but apparently not, perfectly machined pocket. It is a integral, which is cool. It's titanium, and it's sort of rounded. It's very contoured, and you cannot feel these transitions to fat carbon. What I want to say about that, real quick, look at the Poon blade with the compound grind, hollow, flat. Very cool. You have the logo of the designer, which I don't know who it is. Interesting. Then you have the Wingman logo, and what do you have over here? Kickstop mechanism, right? It has the kickstop. So let's back out. Uh-oh. Just don't touch anything. Okay, sorry. It has the kickstop. So basically, you deploy it, and look, no flipper tab. Where'd it go? Well, it becomes a stop pin. It's really cool. And then when you disengage, watch, I can have it like dongle out. And as you close the blade, it pushes, it'll connect, and then push the flipper tab back into position and lock it back in. It's really cool. This one has a little more movement than my Kickstop Apache. So you can you have a little bit of flipper play, but you really have to like mess with it. If you just, do this, you won't feel it. There's no detent lash or anything. It's very solid. Detent is perfect. I mean, the detent is dialed on this. The action on the closing drops very smooth. I mean, you can't ask for much more than this, other than obviously a guillotine. But it's locked up, perfectly. No issues. There's your lockup. Very good. And again, fat carbon's gorgeous. Ergos are the thing that kills this knife for me. This feels really weird. It's just this curve, and it's too small, and it just feels weird in my hand with the way it's contoured. You can kind of choke up to this flat, much like on the Mach 1 or 3, but then my thumb lands in between Poon, you know what I mean? And it's right on the Poon, and it just feels awkward, So I just don't like the ergos on this guy. I don't know if I cut with the other knives, but edge is good. It's going to be M390. I'm fairly positive it's going to be M390 on here. Does it say it anywhere? I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be M390 on this type of knife. Real quick, G-frame, good edge. This one's S35. And then you have the Perf in the Nitro V. Also a good edge. So, sorry, I just wanted to make sure I show you guys. We're not going to worry about the Medford, but I'm pretty sure anyway. Well, we can do it. Pretty sure Jared Neve put a sort of working edge on it for Talica. So I think it's got that dual sort of Cedric and Ada edge. If you saw that video where one side is like one grit and the other side is another. So if you slice this way, it's different than if you slice, which I suck right-handed, but we'll see. Feels thicker on that side, but I can't know for sure. And then you have very nice sharp up there. Now, Jared did say if I wanted, I could send this to him and he would put whatever edge I want on it. So I may do that and get a polished edge because I just love a mirror polish. But anyway, this thing cuts pretty good. It's got a hollow back here and the flat up here. Yeah, it's interesting. I will say, it's got the same sort of lock bar thing that the Mach 3 has, but it's a little bit wider in here, I think. So you just get a little more purchase, or I'm just used to unlocking that one. So, you know, I like doing it on this one, or I'm used to it on that one, so this one's fine, maybe. I don't know. What else was I going to say? Oh, so what I was going to say about the contouring, I understand that this is expensive. It's like $450 or something. And it is seriously machined so well. The contouring around here, like they're rounded scales, the fat carbon. They're not just flat. And then they're seamless. But because of that, it almost feels like plastic to me. This knife sort of feels like a toy in my hand. It's so weird to say that because it's expensive. And I know the materials are good. I know they are. So it's just a mental thing where I just don't know. It just isn't good for me. It just feels cheap. I hate to say cheap, but kind of feels that way to me. Part of it is going to be the hollowness of having, you know, milled out titanium like that. Look, this is number 23. That's pretty cool. So anyway, that is the Ferris from Wingman EDC. I'm really glad I got to check this out because I was interested in it. Cool knife. All right, let's do the Finch. This is the Drifter. It's a flipper-only Finch. You have this blue denim sapphire micarta. I thought it would be a little bit of a lighter blue. It's a little darker than I thought, but that's fine. It's got the loom. It's got a brass or bronze pivot collar, titanium deep carry or titanium clip, which is awesome. And it has this Bowie blade. So I think people are calling this one the mini Bowie or the baby Bowie. Where I call the Tycoona the Mini Machete. And it has the flipper choil, as I like to call it. They should just start running with that and using that name. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm acting like I made it up. Maybe I heard it somewhere. But anyway, it's a steel liner lock. So no insert or anything, but it's because the liners are steel. You're probably coming in around $130 on this guy. I didn't price the other ones, but that's okay. You can always look them up. It's small, guys. I mean, I can maybe squeeze all four back here, but if I choke up on the flipper choil, it feels good, and you kind of land in this groove here on the Bowie blade. Feels good. It does seem to have maybe a slight recurve. Not positive, but it could be a slight recurve, so shouldn't be an issue sharpening, though, if it's that slight. Tip does come up a little bit. It's kind of got that Bowie Lanny's clip sort of tip, so detailed, my kind of stuff, not great, but it will work. You could flip it over, and then you get great access. Action drops pretty good. I have not touched this. It's a giveaway knife, so I literally have flicked it 5 times. Drops, and I think with a little bit of KPL heavy and love, it's going to drop pretty good. It's on bearings, and the detent is dialed. I'm very happy to see this detent on here. The last few, I'd say the Harvester and the Devil's Fingers I had pretty, they were lighter detents than I would like to see. They weren't bad. They were just lighter than I'd want. The Cherry Bomb was really good, though. But this is perfect. And it's dialed for flipper only, which is good. Let's zoom in real quick. There's that sapphire micarta, dead nut centered. There's that clip. Really nice. I love their titanium clips. And you'll see another one in a second. There's that flipper tab. They also have one of the flipper tabs I really, really like because they just work. They have the jimping in the right place. They're not pointy. You can light switch. You can push button. It's just very, very nice. And then you have the blade. Finch right here. Very sharp and pointy. Not too dainty, but dainty. 154 cm Drifter. And there you go. It's a flat grind. And that is the Finch Drifter, guys. I really do like this knife. So really cool to be giving that away. All right. Last but not least is the WE Knives Beacon. Okay, so this is an awesome WE knife. I'm going to say it right now. Next to the Roxy 3, I think this is my favorite WE to date. I really did like the Seer, but the action on this is a little bit better than the Seer. I do maybe like the overall look of the Seer slightly better, but this has that added feature of the fuller. Now, the reason it's a surprise is because it doesn't work left-handed well. I tried it with the clip, without the clip. You just can't, you put pressure on the lock bar to do a reverse flick. So you got to climb like all the way down here and then somehow get your finger in the fuller and flick it. It's not satisfying, trust me. You can also try this move where you kind of go up on the pivot and hit the fuller. But again, it's really hard for me to do. And if that's not satisfying at all, I'm not going to be doing all this to, do it. So I've been mainly using this as a flipper, and guys, it's awesome as a flipper. The action is incredible. You'll see this is actually a 1929 clip from Finch, and I'm just sick of the clip they use, which is basically this, but titanium, right? It's just a deep carry budget clip they throw on everything. It doesn't recess into the scale or anything. They're just not putting effort into the clips anymore. Look at this. Look how much better this looks. It matches the blade. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if it was blue, but who cares? It matches the blade. I think it looks really sleek like this, and it works great. So I'm keeping it on here. But anyway, back to the action. So the detent. I first saw this knife, I think, on Neve's Knives, and I have a buddy, Seth. Shout out to Seth. I think he's changing his Instagram to Deep South EDC, something like that, and starting a YouTube channel, which is awesome. Good for you, Seth. But he was raving about this as well, and they both said the detent was kind of lighter than it should be, I guess, or needed to be for a flipper only, but because of the fuller, it works, right? And I will say that's true. As a lefty, you can do a thumb flick. So you get a thumb flick at least. Right-handed, that's hard because you're on the lock bar. So you get the reverse flick, which is obviously better. The drop action, man, look at that thing drop. And then it is so smooth, guys. I have not touched this knife. I think I might have put nano oil on the detent ball. I think that's all I did. I don't even know if I did that. I think I did. But look at this thing, man. It's almost drop shut. It's a shaker, but it's close. And for that's impressive because usually they're really shakers, But this guy's awesome. It just feels really satisfying to close this knife. But after putting the nano oil and a little bit of break-in, this flipper tab, man, I can fail it. I can fail it if I pinch it, sort of, right? I can't even do that right now. There. I mean, I had to put pressure on the lock bar too. So just a normal pull, as light as I can go. You saw that, it locked up. So I'm going to just take the knife out and flick it. It flies out of there. It's excellent. And what I was saying earlier is this is probably my favorite flipper tab. They just have nailed it with the jimping all in the right places. It's aggressive enough, has the right angle. It just is satisfying for me to flick this knife. And they had this flipper on the Wii Seer. I think they have it on the Stinger. They have it on a bunch of... The Sakshi is the other one. And it's just so satisfying. I love this flipper tab, right? It's super thin. I mean, look how thin it is. Let me grab, what's another, I don't know, what's a thin knife? The Stinger, right? The Stinger, here. I mean, it's as thin as the Stinger. It's just, right? I mean, obviously they took the Stinger blade here. Sort of. But whatever. To me, this looks like a Miguron mixed with another Miguron, actually. Valona mixed with a Karaki. I have the Karaki here. Let me show you. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this handle was this knife. Right? Just reminded me so much of it. And then it's really just this, I guess. And then the Valona blade shape, which I don't have here, but here's a size comparison if you want. 3.5-inch blade on the beacon. By the way, this is awesome. And I keep wanting to say deacon, but that's a different knife. So yeah, guys, I am impressed. The action's incredible. Honestly, as a lefty, flipper only, it's fine. Like, I still really like it. Ergos, that's the other thing. After swapping the clip, even better. I mean, it just feels melts in my hand back here, and then up here you kind of have a choil, and this is fan-flippin'-tastic. The edge on here, I mean, it comes with a wee edge, and it shaves hair. I tested it in the unboxing. I mean, this thing is like a laser beam through paper. I'm impressed with this one, guys. And it's funny to me because you'd think I'd be shitting on it because I can't flick it left-handed, right? Like, that does bug me because this would probably... I don't know if it'd be better than the Roxy 3, but for a wee in-house design, this is my favorite. Really is my favorite. So this is a really cool knife. I love the blue. That blue stonewash kind of matches my fulcrum here. Check it. Got a nice little carry going today. So, yeah, I love the wee beacon, guys. Really cool knife. I can recommend it. Obviously, you know, swapping the clip might be good for some people. Maybe some people like that clip the way it is. But I'm digging this. And again, I haven't touched the pivot, disassembled it, haven't done anything. It's just a joy to carry and flip. I'm sure I'll get bored of the flipper only kind of thing after a while. At least I can thumb flick it. I can thumb roll it out. I just can't reverse flick it. But not well anyway. You know, you gotta figure out a way to do it. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably let it go after the review. I don't know, but I'm really digging it, especially with this Finch clip. So that's the wee beacon. So there you go, guys. First impressions on a few knives for you. The wee beacon, the Finch Drifter, the Wingman EDC Ferris, the Civivi Perf paraframe ripoff, the Real Steel G frame, the Rask from Grimsmo, and of course, my baby's back, the Medford Sex Machine Slim Mid-A with the Tanto blade. Check it out, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry, I know it's a long one, but we had a lot of knives here, you know what I mean? Stay tuned for full reviews on most of these, overviews on that one. That one you'll probably see again, but in, you know, whatever video collection and favorite videos. Yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Tell me, which one of these is your favorite? If I had to choose a favorite right now, right? It'd be my Slam Midi, because I own it. Well, I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick one on the table to keep, obviously it'd be this Rask, but it's not mine. I want one of these. I just don't want one for $1,200, so I don't know what to do about that. I really want one. It's so good. Obviously love these two. Out of the rest, man, I really like this Deacon, guys. This thing is a winner. I don't know if White Mountain Knives still has them, but they may have this knife, the Drifter. They may have this knife. They probably have that fucking knife. The G-frame, of course, so you can use my code LeftyEDC at checkout there. But anyway, I'm just rambling. This thing's sexy, though, isn't it? Isn't that sexy? It just really is. Here's a nice blue carry. Not that I'm going to carry it, but look at that. All right, I'm going to shut up. Love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.